We continue our working day at Ukraine Crisis Media Center. Now the floor is given to Colonel Oleksandr Motuzyanyk, Ministry of Defense of Ukraine spokesperson on ATO-related issues. Welcome. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Now to your attention is the information about the events that happened yesterday in the anti-terror operation zone. During the last 24 hours, Russian occupation forces in the anti-terror operation zone continued to shell positions of the armed forces of Ukraine. During dark hours, the militants opened fire with the use of weapons that are prohibited by the Minsk agreements. Now information in more detail. The Lugansk sector in the morning and at about midnight, the militants delivered 3 short shellings of our positions in the region of Trech-Izbinka, Krymske and Lozove. They used mortars of different caliber and launched about 20 mines. And these shellings, in the majority of cases, didn't pose a threat to lives of Ukrainian servicemen. Our detachments only once suppressed activity of the militants with the use of grenade launchers and small arms. Also, starting 4 a.m., the enemy shelled our positions near Malinova, Lugansk, Travneva, Lobachevo, Lopaskina, Zhovte village, Zaitsevo, Oleksandrivka, and in the region of Stanica Luganska. The enemy used grenade launchers of different types and infantry small arms. In 4 instances, Ukrainian detachments calmed down the enemy with precision fire with the weapons that is not prohibited by the Minsk agreements. On the whole, during the last 24 hours in the Lugansk sector, 13 firing provocations of the enemy are recorded. At the same time, in the Donetsk sector, Russian occupation forces 9 times opened fire at our positions near Vodyane, Avdiivka, Krasnogorovka, Gnutova, Mariinka, Pavlopil, and Kamenka. This time, the enemy opened fire with the use of grenade launchers, small arms, and also the weaponry of IFVs. Each time, Ukrainian defenders rigidly stopped provocations of the enemy with the use of grenade launchers of different types, large caliber machine guns, and also light small arms. And in dark hours, so-called hybrid warriors became more active, and they launched 6 mines of 120 millimeter of caliber at our position near Pavlopil, and in response they got several hits at their positions from mounted grenade launchers of the armed forces of Ukraine. And on the whole, during the last 24 hours, along the line of confrontation, the enemy delivered 22 precision shellings in the direction of our positions. In 13 instances, Ukrainian detachments returned fire. In the result of shelling of the positions of the armed forces of Ukraine near Mariinka, 1 serviceman was wounded and was promptly brought to Pokrovsk Military Mobile Hospital. Now his life is not under threat. According to information provided by Main Intelligence Department of MOD, in units and large units of so-called 1st and 2nd Army Corps, rotation of Russian officers continue, those who are commanders, and in these detachments, in which commanders are subject to rotation, they carry out inspections with involvement of commissions of higher staffs, and behind some infantry detachments positions to prevent desertion, they deployed barrier squads from detached commandant's units. And also in the region of withdrawal of heavy weapons of the armed forces of Ukraine, they continued training of tank detachments with firing exercises and use of simulation means. Our tankmen rehearsed driving of battle vehicles, defense actions, identification of targets, and direct layer firing from sight and in movement, paired exit of vehicle from battle, and also the tankmen rehearse the call for support and order of interaction of detachments in rapidly changing environment. And this exercise is commanded by a hero of Ukraine, Deputy Commander of 1st Detached Tank Brigade of Land Forces of Ukraine, Lieutenant Colonel Yevgen Mezhevikin, and he says that these exercises help to improve psychological endurance, cohesiveness, and skills of crews, and this make them more efficient in battle and give them better chances of successful completion of the mission and safe exit from the battlefield. Over the last week, sappers in the region of ATO cleared from mines about 12 hectares of locality, deactivated about 400 explosive devices. From the start of ATO, engineering and sappers detachments of Ukraine deactivated about 175.5 thousand of mine explosive devices and cleared from explosive devices about 3,575 hectares of land in Donetsk and Lugansk oblasts. In General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the results of the activity of the Armed Forces of Ukraine for 2017 were summed up.
Chief of the General Staff, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Army General of Ukraine Viktor Muzhenko analyzed how the combat training is organized in military unit, inspected the performance of the staffs and the HR and logistics of the armed forces. At the meeting noted this year the armed forces of Ukraine have been improving and building up combativity according to the plans and completed the set of required training exercises. The additional military units have been deployed in the potentially hazardous sectors in the east of Ukraine, which actions have been tested in the course of operative and combat training exercises. Cohesiveness of strategic and operative management staffs continued. The General Staff addressed the issues of protection from threats such as Russian exercises West 2017 and other challenges to the territorial integrity of Ukraine. For the first time, the training exercise was conducted for the Reserve Corps. This year, besides mechanized and artillery brigades, reservists were engaged to training in combat military units and the air forces. Thank you. That's all for today.